Hey guys, I just finished watching Alice in Borderland on Netflix. It's based off of a Japanese suspense manga series, and I had a lot of fun watching this. I had no idea what I was in store for. This is kind of an escape room and Saw movie blended together with overall being an homage to Alice in Wonderland. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would check it out. So the plot is about a trio of high school delinquents, and our protagonist, his name is Arisu, kind of the Japanese way of saying Alice, and they're just bored in their current lives. Our main character is pretty much the black sheep of the family, meaning his brother is very successful, and he just kind of plays video games all day, not very motivated, basically a nobody, and doesn't really have a strong will to live. He does, however, have a very strong bond with his two friends, Karube and Sagawa. One day they all just kind of take a day off and they're digging around, and then they go to this bathroom where they are trying to avoid some cops because they kind of celebrated too hard and got in a little bit of trouble. When they come out, they find out that everybody has basically vanished, and the previously very, very crowded city, Japanese city they're in, is now empty. And the first building they encounter, they go in and they are trapped and they need to play a game to survive. They will need to continue to play different games to keep refilling their lives, and it's very much like a video game. What I like about the show is really the characters. I think the characters are really well written and the relationships between the characters are well done. We actually spend a good amount of time with each individual's backstories, not just Arisu's backstory. The show does a slightly gimmicky thing where we'll always have flashbacks to kind of fill in the current characters' lives. We'll meet somebody, we'll see how they react in a situation, but then we'll pretty soon, pretty dependably, we'll always get a good flashback and we'll see the moment that really defines who this character is. And it is very exposition-y, but at the same time, that's what gets me to care about the characters, so I don't mind that at all. A lot of the puzzles are also pretty well done. If you're very, very smart, I think you could definitely figure some of them out. Me, I'm not that smart. I couldn't figure any of them out. And also, I'm trying to enjoy the show. When they ultimately reveal what the answer is, oftentimes they aren't too crazy, which I appreciated. If you are very, I guess, logical or you love doing puzzles, they give you a little bit of a chance to solve the puzzle, but they don't really give you, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And you might even recognize some of these puzzles if you've talked with friends or looked online. Some of these puzzles have actually been floating around online for a while. And I don't know where they came from, if they actually came from this original manga or vice versa. It poses a lot of moral issues, and it's not super clear cut what the right answer is or what the wrong answer is. It's just about survival initially, but it really brings out the core of who these people are and pushes them to grow. And I really like it. It actually doesn't really hammer in any type of philosophy one way or the other. It's actually quite dark. I think our protagonist has a very clear arc. He starts off not really living his life to the fullest, and by the end he's forced to really, really fight for his life. Before he was kind of a bum, and now because of his history and background of playing video games, he's actually quite good at this, and he finds more people that he cares about. And yeah, he becomes a very important character and has a strong will to live, which is great. There's a lot of death in the show, a lot, and also a surprising amount of cooperation. I imagine in an American version, the betrayals might happen a lot sooner, and we definitely see that in this show. But for the most part, they are pretty helpful to one another. They eventually will meet other people that are playing different games, and the world definitely starts expanding and the mystery expands. And there's definitely people you want to be afraid of. But for the most part, they work together. And I like that there's a more collective mentality, and we see the different cliques of different types of people working together. And that's really cool. But there are no easy answers. There really aren't. There's some difficult situations, people die, and it's hard to say what the right move is because when some people die in some of these games, it's almost always at the expense of somebody else. And yeah, it's just hard to say who was in the right, who was in the wrong. The acting is very well done. I love the worlds, the little the technology that keeps them in place. That's all awesome. I guess one of the negatives would be the pacing is quite slow. They really take their time with these emotional moments, which helps give it the impact it has. But at the same time, you kind of want to fast forward sometimes because they are really letting these actors flex their acting muscles, which I'm sure is great for the actors. But for us viewers, I don't know if I need that much brooding or sadness, minutes of it on end in their faces. I kind of want to just hear what's happening, hear how they're feeling, and then move on. But that's okay. Overall, really great show. Really, really cool characters. You can definitely feel the manga-ness of this because the characters each have their own very strong personality, a history, and a style and a look to them. There's so many super cool characters. If you liked the movies I mentioned before, Saw, Escape Room, Alice in Wonderland, a little bit mixture of all of them. It's mostly like a mystery, kind of a horror, and also thriller for sure. A heavy, heavy mystery. I think you'll enjoy it. I think most people will have a good time with this. It is pretty graphic, so keep that in mind. But yeah,